These are the candidates that are representing you that will be successful on December 17th in Devonshire. So I'd like to start. To my immediate left is Mr. Vance Campbell, and he is the candidate for constituency 9. Once again, welcome, and I'm going to send it right to Mr. Campbell, and you can get started. Remember, we will have questions after each individual has had a chance to speak. Thanks.
Good evening, everyone. My initial comments will be directed at the constituents in number 9. I want you to know, those of you who haven't seen me, that I've been out there, I've walked every street, I've been to every house, I've rang every doorbell, knocked on every door, except those that have dogs in the yard. Those, I left my information in the mailbox. Some of you have not been home, so I haven't had the opportunity to speak with you, but that is my intent, right from the outset, to meet with every single one of you, to hear your concerns. Some of you have called me back, and we've met subsequent to me going by your house. We're in the process, again, of going through the constituency for one more time. We are meeting with those of you who we missed or who were too busy, who were just leaving, who couldn't speak with us. I'm telling you all of this because I've worked hard to secure your support, and just as hard as I've worked to secure your support, that is as hard, if not harder. I will work to represent you if and when selected as your member of parliament. So I just want to direct that to the members, the constituents of number 9 specifically. With that, having said that, I'll move into the next part, which is in general for everyone here tonight. And what I want to do is just go through very briefly and in a general sense, because they haven't given us that much time, the interrelation of the key components to Bermuda's business environment. And I'll do that, and one of the things that I'll use tonight will be very familiar with most of us here tonight from our days in primary school and in math class in particular. But one key component is business. And by business, I mean international business, local business, non-profit organizations, and tourism. We'll throw all of that into business. The other key component is labor, whether it's foreign labor, local labor, labor. The third key ingredient is government. That needs no explanation. Now, I've put the circles here separately, but we're talking about these are the needs. These are the needs of the respective groups. Worst case scenario is what I've depicted here, where the needs and wants of each group are not intersecting in any shape or form. They're going about satisfying what they need independent, or attempting to in any event, independent of the other key components. I don't know if that's physically possible, but they can attempt to do it, each component. I think that's a recipe for disaster. That would be the worst case scenario. We're going to jump from the worst case scenario to the perfect scenario. Perfect scenario. The needs of, and also the objectives of business, labor, and government. Perfectly overlapping. That's what our aim and objective would be. Now, we've gone from worst case scenario, which we don't believe we have, to the perfect scenario, which we would always be striving to achieve, because that whole relationship is fluid. So if we were to attain perfection, it would only be for a moment, because it's constantly moving. What we in reality probably have is something like this, the Venn diagram. You remember that from math days? You didn't learn that in math? So we have the business, labor, and government. Intersecting. Here, we're operating in a realm that the needs of business only are being met. Over here, we have a realm where labor only is being met, and here we have where government's needs and desires, objectives are being met only. In this section, we have the needs of government and business being met. Over here, we have the needs of labor and business being met to the exclusion of government. And likewise here, we have labor and government being met without any satisfaction of the needs and wants of international business. The area here, the intersection where all three components of this fluid market are being met, that is where we want to be. That's where we want to be operating most of the time. I say most of the time because it's okay to go up here and function for a brief moment. Brief moment could be 3 months, could be 6 months, could be a year. It depends on the circumstance. It's okay to function up here for a brief moment. And the reason why you will function up here is to correct something that has taken us out of this center. It's okay to function over here in labor. You may be correcting something. And it doesn't have to be something wrong. A new product, a new business could have come on board in Bermuda. The government makes concessions, so we're functioning up here. Just to get that launch, time is of the essence. So we move fast. We allow them some leeway. Then we start bringing it down to here, down into government, rules, policies, regulation, potentially. And then we may have to take it over here and operate in labor because now we have a new market. The labor has adjusted. Now we need to find jobs for our Bermudians who have gone off, got the qualification to meet the needs of this new business. So it's ever evolving. It's okay to operate here. It's okay to operate there when the circumstances require. Where we want to be and what we want to see is an expansion of this intersection in the middle, where the needs of all of the key stakeholders are being met. Most of us in here will function in several of these, possibly in our lifetime, function in all of these circles. Maybe not simultaneously, but if we're an employee of government, we're functioning here. We're also labor, so we're functioning there. International business, functioning here, but you also have a labor component to that. So what we will want to see, and again, it's key that the government of the day, that labor of the day, that the business leaders of the day are meeting so that they know what each other's needs are, so that when we have to operate outside this intersection here, the center, the sweet spot, when we have to operate up here, when we have to operate over there, all of the factors are aware of it because we're meeting, we're having discussions, and we're interacting, saying, I need this here, can you give it to me? Well, we need this here, let's compromise, let's meet in the middle. International business, what are your needs? What will make you grow your business? Government responds. We can give you points 3, 4, 5. 1, we cannot give you. 2, we cannot give you. We have to stand strong for our people on those 2 points. Labor, you have to give up something in order to get 3, 4, and 5. So this is constantly evolving. And what all of this we hope will lead to is this scenario. Business, labor, government. This spot where everyone's needs are being met, expanding outward. So that government only is shrinking, business only is shrinking, labor only is shrinking, and we get back, or we're striving to reach the perfect business environment where it's a total, complete intersection of the needs and wants of the 3 key components to our environment. The government of the day, this party, the Progressive Labor Party, understands that dynamic. We recognize when we need to be in operating in the various sections to satisfy the needs of the whole and bring us back to this center, expanding that center. Some aspects of that take longer than others. There may be a 5, 10-year plan. Others can be rectified in the short term. But all of that, short, intermediate, and long term, all plays a part in keeping us here as much as possible and expanding that. With that, I think my time is up, and I'll sit down.